Dumbo. An artificial paradise. Paradise, 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 paradise,
All right. Okay. So. It's capturing the game. So I'm going to start over just because of the few snafus I had the other day. But we're going to play through as Knight again. So again, predicted position 10th. So everybody else gets to pick their crew before me. It goes by standings. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted this time to pick a better driver, but I don't see anybody. Passive and unshakable. That's my lower than 10th place. Penalty when overtaking, because he's probably going to be the one we can afford. So, God, $11 for that probably isn't worth it. Christoph Fischer is remarkable, increasing focus, lower chance of getting speed. He's $1. So he asks for crew. Again, I kind of want to stay under late, because they could retire anytime. Expertise, or they build, how many tuning points after a lap, that's nice. Reliability, and how much the car can be tuned. I mean, bonus on chassis, +1 on chassis tuning. Design master, our parts gain 20 performance added to the final result. 20 parts built. We won't be doing a lot of building early. Added to the final result of built parts. Parts. +1 minimum value for tuned parts. Increasing the precision, but minus 10% of increasing expertise in switching careers. Hey, SJ! Welcome in. So was it your birthday today? Or did you just like go out, like celebrate early? Tomorrow? Well, happy birthday. Because I had seen like you were talking about going out to eat and everything. I know you got a big stream tomorrow, so I'll give you a little shout out. the party due to schedules. Yeah, yeah, that's how my family usually does it. Is we usually wait for the weekend. So it's either like, you know, if your birthday's on like a Monday or Tuesday, we usually do it like that weekend before. My wife leaves for a work trip tomorrow, so we had to celebrate early. Well, I hope your wife has a good work trip. I hope it goes smooth. So you kind of came in at a good time because, well, shit, this might redo the teams. But this is a like minimalistic F1 simulator. I'm selecting Team Knight, who is predicted to come in last place. So yeah, this is resetting the teams, which I didn't mean to do. But now, like, we're trying to assemble our team. We have $35. Some of that is already spent on the kind of car we get. So we're spending between $12 to $16 on a car. We won't see the stats until we get an engineer. I started one yesterday that I kind of mucked around with and kind of forgot to actually stream the game for about a half hour, so I'm restarting it. So we have to select 2 drivers, an engineer, and a crew chief. Everybody has like stats and traits, which I won't really focus on each and every one. But my strategy, mid-career, passive, patriotic. My strategy for the first game was to pick 2 cheap drivers and a good engineer and crew chief. So I'm deciding if I want to do that again. Because I was actually doing fairly well for being predicted to come into last place. So for crew chief, we have expertise and precision. Expertise influences the performance of the carts they build and how many tuning points each driver gains after a lap, which we'll come to see when we qualify. Precision influences the reliability of the car parts they build and how much the car can be tuned. So right now, I kind of want to focus on somebody either early career or mid-career, because if they're late career, they might be retiring at the end. And every season, we have to rebuild our team. Minimum value, absent-minded genius. I don't know how well absent-minded genius is. There's a lot of these. Driver report, +1 to driver's focus. This is nice. Tuning master. Parts tune have a +1 minimum value. I think I went with James Pope last time. Design master. Our parts built. Gain 20 performance. He's got 5 and 5. Which is nice. I might stick with Pope. I might go with that same strategy. 19 other drivers tired before the race. Good stat. So this does take place in the 70s, which was kind of I guess F1 racing started in like the 50s really, but so this was still kind of like the golden age where teams would like spy on each other and try to sabotage each other. So now for our crew chief. Steady hands. Pit stop, have times increased by 20. That's not good. We don't want sloppy. The speed. Decent skill. Kind of on the low end. But Wet strategist, well, a team of drivers gain 10% more speed on dry tires when on a wet track, which could be nice because there are times where the track is wet, but not wet enough that we need, like, rain tires. Oh, conserving fuel is nice. What would that'll put us at 33, so we'll be able to push more. So we can keep a balanced car. So we have conservative, balanced, and experimental cars. Conservative cars have a base, kind of have better base stats than the others. But the others have like a more wider range of, like, when we tune it, when we upgrade, you know, balanced have a better chance of being more reliable than conservative. So I might go balanced because I just don't trust the experimental, because they have generally lower reliability for a chance at a better performance, and being that we're last place, we need reliable parts. And so as for drivers, I might just go with the same thing I did last time and grab both Antonios for $0. They're early on in their career, they have poor stats, but they both have Silkworm, so they use their tires more efficiently. They're patriotic, so they gain a focus when racing on a track in their home country of Italy, and they have rich parents, so they cost $0. So we might just go with the same strategy we had last time. Pick 2 poor drivers but have a good crew, and at the end of the season we'll see how they're doing. So yeah, we have $2 left. We can't really do much. So that'll be our team for this season. So now we have to choose a sponsor. Each one gives a base income. Exhaust gives a lower base income, but they give higher bonuses because they expect you to do better. Petrol's kind of in the mid. And then we have metal tubing, which is kind of the ones we're going to be taking. Because again, we're not, odds are we really won't be placing above 12 or above all that often, so we need that extra $3. And then they give a season bonus if we get 6th or above. Whereas, yeah, like with exhaust, we have to get 4 above each race to get a bonus. We have to get 2nd or above for the season to get the bonus. So we're going to stick with metal tubing. So now we can get a preview for the tracks. I don't really look too far ahead early on, but we've got one Italian track. So just one Italian track, so we're only going to get that patriotism off once. But first up is Schwarzwaldring. It's a dangerous course. This track wasn't exactly built with safety as a priority. Crashes are more likely to be serious or catastrophic. Crash fatality chance has a plus 50%. So drivers can die in this. So that is... I don't mind the licking, but don't bite. And then our next is Brazilian Ondas Rolando. Has a high elevation, so the engine performance is worse, but the chassis is better. Bumpy has a higher crash chance, anti-clockwise, and it's wet. 2 cats. Got one on my bed and now one on my lap. So yeah, we have to be careful about pushing, because this next track is more dangerous. So again, currently we're 19th and we're projected to be 19th and 20th. We're projected to be last place. So as long as we can get 8 points, that is more than we were projected. Stop with the licking. Okay. So the forecast. So we're getting to the qualifier. The forecast is partly cloudy, overcast, partly cloudy. We have a couple bumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sharp turns. This 5, 6. So in order to qualify, we're going to essentially be doing 3 laps. There's called the out lap, the flying lap, and like the in lap. And essentially, we're trying to get the lowest time, or the quickest time as we can, and then that will determine our position on the actual race. The 3 tires we have are soft tires, which have a higher speed, but they have a lower durability, and they're less efficient in wet conditions. Intermediates are slower, but they're better in like slightly damp conditions. And you have your full wets, which have the lowest speed, but the highest performance in wet conditions. So on this little graph, we can see how wet the track is, so there's no water at all. And then I believe that's supposed to be a tire for the grip strength or something. So essentially, we're just going to go flat out softs for both racers. We're going to try to get them out. And then, like I said, they're going to do like their 3 laps. They're going to come in. They're going to get a pit stop. We're going to be able to tune them. And that's where like the ability points come in for our crew. We can kind of speed this up a little bit. For the races themselves, Romano can't focus. He's going to have a bad lap. So for the races themselves, I'm probably going to stay on like 2 speed or less, just so I can configure on the fly better. Okay, so they're coming into tune. So again, like after we tune, they're going to go out for 3 more laps, try to set a better time. But now we have 15 ability points each tune phase to increase the performance of our engine, the chassis, or our steering. Engine affects acceleration, the chassis affects total top speed, steering affects braking and cornering. So on this map, we have some decent straightaways. We have portion that's curvy, so we kind of want to focus on everything. But we come over here, this is where we spend points. So for example, for the engine, I can spend 2 points to get a 1 to 5 modifier on the engine, or 1 point for 1 to 3. But down here, I see that 4 to 14. At minimum, I'm going to get plus 4 to the chassis. At most, I'm going to get 14. So I'm tempted to actually take this 4 to 8 for 3 points, because like I said, I'm guaranteed 4. I'm guaranteed 4 points. And then once I select either of these, this is going to refresh. So now I have like a 4 to 13 or a 1 to 3. And there are 2 positions on the tuning. There's a gold and a red. If you go to red, you kind of over-tune it, and your performance is going to dip back a little bit. If you get into the golden section, that's called a golden tune, and you kind of it means that you kind of tune it to perfection. And so right now we have a maximum that we can get to of 75. If we get the golden tune, we're gonna get like 80 something. So it's gonna be like top tier tuning. But if, like I said, if we get to the red, it's gonna dip back down. We're gonna get back into like maybe the 20s or so, and we're gonna have to try to attempt to get back up there. So, like I said, we might figure out. Vital is first, so I might focus on his steering. Do 6 to 20. Got an 11. 3 to 6. So right now we're at 31 of 75 on his steering. We're going to do, however many more laps we can get in the 45 minutes remaining. So we're going to get more points. So for Romano, I kind of like to split things up. But I also see these 4 to 6s, that 5 to 14, and those just kind of look juicy to me. So I might focus on Romano, on his chassis, after I get this 4 to 16. Take the 1 to 4, 3 to 7, 1 to 3. I don't like the big swings of like 2 to 20. 2 to 4, 1 to 5. Do the 1 to 2, 1 to 2. So now he's gonna go back out. So again, they're gonna do 3 more laps. And as we can see the standings right now, we're looking at 12th and 15th. Mach is of the, I already forget their names. Mach and Moretti are 1st and 5th. They're on the same team. Ryan and Woods are 2 and 6. Loop and Bregman are 3 and 4. Campbell and Rosenquist have Romano's in the zone. Campbell and Rosenquist have pretty far swing. Got Hassler and Steiner. Schaub and Vialba. Acosta and Von Heim. Kukokin and Fisher. Olgerson and Maldonado have a giant swing. So we're finishing up. Currently sitting at 7th and 8th, but everybody else is starting their laps. So we've got under 40 minutes left, and then we will go into the actual race. Eat some dinner. Yeah, go ahead. Hope you enjoy your dinner. To 14. I don't like that. 6 to 15 will take. 1 to 3. 6 to 19 will take. 2, 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So we're getting close on his steering. And Romano, we're kind of working on his chassis. Like big swings, but we'll take the 5 to 10, 2 to 5, the 4 to 13, 5 to 11 to finish up. Let's wait for everybody to clear. These 11 coming in. So that's something else you need to look for, is like who's still doing their laps, because you can get stuck behind racers. So we're currently 13th and 14th. We're coming in for another pit. Okay, 7, 1 to 4. Oh, 2 to 4 to 4. We got our golden tune on steering. I'm gonna work on probably the acceleration to help with those cornerings. 4 to 9, 2 to 7, finish off. 4 to 6, 5 to 18 would not put us over. 2 to 4 should get us there. So we got his chassis done. I might focus on steering now. Six. To the 6, 1 to 3. We've got a 1 to 3 up here. 11 is on his outlap. They're just starting. We'll wait for 13. Maybe too early for Vital, maybe. Okay, so we're dropping back down to 12th, 13th, and 14th. Monarch's is going to have a bad lap. We've got green flags, so green flags mean you're doing better. White flags mean either same time or worse than previous. So we're still improving. Purple flag, I think, means fastest lap. The Moretti is just smoking it. 3 to 7 for an extra point. 2 to 4. 2 to 4. 3 to 6. I might do the 4 to 16. 1 to 3. 2. For those really. 2 to 9. And 4 to 13. 14 is on his outlap. So we're 10th and 11th so far. Dropping back down, 13th and 14th. 14th, 15th. Vital can't focus. I start focusing on Vital's chassis a little bit. Let's go with the big 6 to 17. Do the 1 to 4, the 3. That 4 to 14. 2 to 9. 7 plus 9. Be 76. Do the 2 to 5. That's just the golden tune there. We're gonna wait for number 1 and number 9. Vital's playing about his pit. do the 4 to 8, 4 to 7, 13, 7, 4. You might be able to get in one more. 3 to 8. You got a 12. I'll take it. 4 to the 5. Pretty clear. Ronald's in the zone. So we're getting green flags. We jump up. Six, got another golden tune, nice. Might have to take gambles. But I don't think we're gonna get it. Take the 5 to 15. 5 to 20 would put us over potentially. So Romano at least got 3 golden tunes. We'll just see if we can get another lap in. Mattel's in the zone. Can we potentially better our times? Qualifying's complete. Looks like we're going to be 11th and 13th starting out, which I will take it. 12th and 14th, everybody's coming in. Which again, for being the worst team, I will take a 12th and 14th. So now we have 2 additional tires. It's going to be starting out rainy, then overcast. We're doing 35 laps. Get here. So it's going to get a little bit wetter. Then it's going to get drier. So we have the wet strategist. So I don't know if I really want to do the intermediates. Because we are like right on the cusp. Might be able to do hards. The hards have a little bit of better wet range. Might just take the chances. We'll come pushing out of the gate. That's the only thing I don't get. Like it's gonna get slightly wetter. So maybe we do start with intermediates. This could be a bad strategy, but we'll see how it goes. Because we definitely don't need the wet. It's not that wet. Let's just go with hards. Let's just see how bad of a idea this is. Okay, so everybody else did not use intermediates, so that's good. So Paul Woods, the driver of Team LeBron, partied a bit too hard, so he's receiving a -1 modifier to their abilities for the current session. Jurgen Schuss, True Chief of Ezzolini, partied a bit too hard. So he's got a -1 ability to his modifiers. And that is it. So let's see, out of the gate. We're getting overtaken, but Vital's coming back up to 12th. Romano's 15th. Got a couple overtakes. Romano's dropping back down to 19th. Vital's dropping back down. Okay, let's stop pushing our guys. That's stressing them out. So you can push your drivers, but it stresses them out, increasing their chances of crashing. You can have a balance, you can have a conservative. But generally you want to push on the curves. Oh, we already have a red flag. Jorge Bergman pushed the car beyond the limit and crashed. It looks bad. So again, we're on a dangerous track. So this crash has a better chance of being catastrophic. So the red flag, we're all going to immediately pit. We can change our tires. We can repair our cars if we need to. Track's getting too wet. So we might have to. So he wants to change tires, which we might need to. Well, by the time we get back on, it'll be drying out again, so I don't know if I want to. So you might just stick with the hards. So I'm going to take a gamble and stick with the hards. I'm going to repair everything, because we've still got 5 minutes. So same thing with Romano. And then after the race, we'll find out what happens to Bregman. Yeah, everybody else is still keeping their tires. Stop burning fuel. Yeah, how much we got left? We do have 5 laps of fuel left. So John Schwab crashed. So luckily it's just a yellow flag, so we all have to slow down. Yellow flags, I don't believe can be catastrophic. So Bregman's still the only one who we will have to wait and see what his condition is. So we are currently in 11th and 13th. The race is back on. Let's start pushing again. So the good news is this is at least maintaining our tire strength. It's maintaining our fuel. Let's start pushing in these corners. We're conserving fuel again. Let's take a look. 4 laps left. 4 laps left. We stay on this. So we can push. We have somebody already pitted. To this turn, I'll calm down. Mono. Vital's currently up. Vital's still hanging on in 10th. But they're pitting. So we're going to temporarily be ahead of them. Then let's push through these corners. Calm down. So we don't want to push too hard and make them crash. The Vital is currently in 6th, Romano's in 10th. We are in position to get points on both drivers. So we're looking at 3 laps. Vital's got overtaken twice again. We are probably going to want to pit next lap. So if we do hard, we can probably make it through the rest of the race. Because I don't think the mediums will make it. So as they come out, I want them to burn the engine fuel. So Campbell is going to have to pit. Lupe might have to pit again. Currently at a slight... yeah, so the tires should be able to make it. We are at a slight, whatchamacallit, deficit if we keep pushing the engines. We're going to have to be smart about that. Vital's still hanging strong in the top 10, so we might get a point from him. Romano's in the zone. He overtook Camp. Yellow flag. Aurelio Maldonado has crashed. So again, that's going to... And Luigi Morietti has a puncture, so he's going to have to be forced to pit. Joel Ryan has a puncture, so that's another pit. You're currently green flag. We can probably push Romano's engine the remainder. Vitala does not look like he has enough gas to constantly push, so we will slow him down a little bit. But he's coming back into the corner, so we'll push his driving. We'll push Romano's driving. Now he's in the straightaways, we'll push him back. Push the engine again. 2 laps, 0.3 laps. It looks like I can probably push the engines the remainder of the race. Romano is the one we have to focus on right now. The 6th place is pretty far ahead of Vital. I don't know if he can make it up. Because, man, if we can get points on both racers, that would be amazing. We got 7th and 8th so far. We're getting close. We have 3 laps left. Yeah, because Vital has a comfortable 7th. Romano, so we can just let him go. Romano, we can probably let chill out. They've got enough gas. So they're starting to finish. I will take 7th and 8th. So Bregman is in the hospital, recovered from the crash. It'll be 4 races before they're in racing shape again. That is a shame. So even with punctures, Moretti got 1st. Orion got 3rd. We came in big with 7th and 8th. You're a minute behind, almost a minute 12 behind the leader. But we had a 146 as our fastest lap. We had a fastest lap as Hostler. But yeah, it's 10 points, first race, I'll take it. So yeah, standings. Shakes, welcome in. So after the first race, we are the team that was projected to be 10th. We are currently in 4th with 10 points. Azzolini was scheduled to be, I think Azzolini was 1st, LeBron was 2nd, Chapman was supposed to be 3rd. So that all works out. So we've gotten our $3 for the race and $1 for getting a racer above 12th place. So yeah, the 2 Antonios. Vital has 6 points. Romano has 4. So Bregman of Wayland is currently injured. He's being replaced by Carlos Rodriguez for the next 4 weekends. For the next 4 races, essentially. We have a new sponsorship challenge. Speed Dart will give us $2 in the next race if we golden tune the chassis on one of our drivers. Whereas Vice will give us $4 if we get the drivers in consecutive positions without giving them any overtake order, which we do constantly. So I will not be taking that one. Unless I wanted to completely throw the game and get last place. I would rather get the $2 for the Golden Tune. We have $6. We could potentially work on a car. We could build a new part. But God, the reliability is going to be poor on it. It would cost us $5 to build a new part, but it would give us a minimum of, looks like 90 performance increase. The only thing is we can only build one part, and it'll only go to one driver. So I might want to save. Because our car is going to start breaking down. So I might hold on to the money and see how we're doing. So the next race is going to be this windy one. and Ondas Rolando. Again, our chassis is going to be performing better, but our engine's going to be performing worse. There's a better chance to crash. It's going anti-clockwise. Good chance for it to be wet. The next race in the future will be Francis Hollow in Britain. It's going to be a narrow, so overtaking is going to be worse, and performance is going to be worse, and it's going to have a higher crashing chance. So right now, I'm just going to hold on to my money. We're going to go into our next qualifying lap. So again, it's raining. Then we're going to have a bit of an overcast. Then it's going to finish raining. So this will likely be a slow qualifier. I saw Antonio and I got freaked out for a minute. But Antonio Villalba, driver of Team Hemlock, partied a bit too hard yesterday, now is hungover. He has a -1 modifier for the current session. So, as we can kind of see in the future, it's just going to get wetter. But for right now, we might be able to get away with using the soft tires for this lap. So, yeah, the rest of it looks like it's going to be too wet. So this will probably be our best lap with no stats. But essentially they're going to do 3 laps for anybody coming in. We're going to try to set the fastest lap. We have what's called an out lap. Then you're going to have your flying lap, and then your in lap. Only the flying lap is what counts for our times. So essentially, your out lap is you just kind of warming up. And so, yeah, we're coming up to the lap. So now we're doing our actual timed lap. And Romano's in the zone, so he might set a decent time. And so now we're coming up to our in lap, so we're essentially going to be cooling down. We're going to be coming in for a pit stop where we can tune our cars. And yeah, it's starting to get too wet. So we are 7th and 8th place currently. So now we have 15 action points to spend. Yeah, we're out of wet conditions for the softs. So the rest of this looks like it's going to be intermediate unless it can miraculously dry up. So we have 15 points to spend on tuning our car. That's 6 to 20 on the steering. Because it looks like we're going to need steering and acceleration this race. So let's just focus on steering and acceleration. So I think that was Vital. He's more focused on acceleration, so we're going to focus more on steering on Romano. If at all possible. Do a little bit of acceleration. So they're going to do 3 more laps, then we're going to tune them again, and we've got about 40 minutes left. And so now that we're all on intermediate tires, we're going to have slower times most likely. So this could potentially just be the standings for the race. Because we're getting white flags, which means we have a lower or same time. And it's just going to get wetter. I might take a gamble. It could come back to bite me. But maybe this next lap. No, because it's too wet. It's starting off too wet, and I don't think it's going to be dry enough for those softs. Here's 7, 4 to 7. 4 to 9 for one less. 4 to 8. No, I'm not going to take the chance. I'm just going to get the free points. The free tuning points. 2 to 9. 5 to 3. Go big on the 6 to 18. Yeah, everybody else is staying on intermediates, so it looks like this is just going to be the standings. Unless Romano can pull out a miracle with his focus. Nope. And I don't think it's going to be quite dry enough for this lap. No. For 19. To 5. To 4. To 4. 7 to 5. 17. Yeah, so essentially we're just now trying to just get them out as soon as possible to get more laps in. Well, I mean, some people are hitting green flags on their in lap. Which I don't believe quite counts. I think it's your second lap, I think. Everybody's still getting white flags on their second laps. Might get 2 more tunes in. And it's just only getting wetter. 16. This could potentially put us into golden territory. Not quite. Two to 5 has to. So we've golden tuned our engine, which means now it's performing better than it could otherwise maximally. If we tuned it to the red, that's going to kick the performance back down a little bit. Let's focus a little bit on the chassis. Try to get your steering up. So a couple people are hitting green laps. Surprisingly. Let's see if we can get any in. Romano can't focus. It's gonna be a bad lap. Yeah, this looks like this will be our last pit. I don't know if we're going to quite get his steering up. Your chassis up a little bit. We'll see if by a miracle we can get one more tune in. Both guys can't focus. So close. Nice, we got a golden tune for the steering. I have to go big. Go big. Nice, I'll take it. To 8. 15, we'll take the 1 to 4. And they can't be sent out anymore. So 8th and 9th. And I totally forgot about the golden tune, the chassis. Whoops. Wait for everybody else to finish. So it looks like, yeah, it's going to be rainy, torrential, rainy, torrential. So this will be a wet race. So the goal might be start off with the intermediates. They do have a higher speed. And then high B, lap 5. Or do we just start with the wets? Because if we start with the wets, we'll save a pit for later. Because everything else is way out of range. That might hurt us in the long run. I'm just going to go with the wets because it is going to increase. And that's what it looks like everybody else did. I'm going to push at the start, try to push through these curves. Burn some gas. Vitalis currently in 7th, Romano's in 9th. Olgerstrin Holgerson is in 8th. Soon as we get back to the straightaway, we're going to calm down. We don't want to push too hard. We can see everybody else is... a lot of people are pushing still. Let's push again. Currently 7th and 10th. So anything above 10th and or above, we get a point. Can't get past Holgerson. Levy Mock has crashed. He was one of the top 2 drivers. So we have 5 minutes of no overtaking. So that's going to help on our durability of our tires, help on our gas consumption. Two minutes left, and then I'll slow it down. So that is one strategy, was if I had started with the intermediate tires, I could have done a pit right then, which would have given me about 5 laps more. So Vitalis bumped up to 6th, Romano's bumped in 9th. Thanks to the crash by Mach. Vital can't get past Holgerson. We have to calm him down a little bit. It's fine, you're still... And Moretti has crashed! So, Team Etso is out of the race. So yeah, it looks like Ryan and Woods will be in first place this race. But thankfully they are not catastrophic crashes like the previous race. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So now Vital is in 5th, Romano's in 8th. We are still on a little bit of a deficit on our gas. Vital still having trouble overtaking Holgerson. Romano in between Hostler and Schwab. Let's calm him down on these straightaways. Romano's in the zone. Maybe he can ground up to Hostler. And then the curves. Romano and Vital are having trouble overtaking. Okay, we'll try again next lap, guys. And just cool your stress. Mono dropping down to 8th. Yeah, Hostler's taking an early pit. Slow pits up for Steiner. That's nice. Let's start pushing Vital. How much? We have 4 laps on his engines. Push Romano as well. So we have about 5 laps of our tires currently, but we are pushing them. Woods is pitting. We might want to pit. Maybe next lap. Do an early pit. That'll give us one, then another pit. Because we are kind of pushing our tires. Because Woods and Schaub are pitting. Lupe hasn't pit yet, but he should be pitting soon. Let's go ahead and pit. Yeah, Vital and Romano 4th and 5th, but that is only temporary because Woods has fresh tires. Maldonado has fresh tires. Where's Lupe? Lupe's coming around right in front of Vital. Let's see if he pits. Ryan and Holgerson still haven't pitted. Ryan's going for one more lap. Yeah, so Ryan Holgerson and Lupe have not pitted. So we'll see if this... And Christoph Fischer has crashed. Our third crash. So Ryan Holgerson and Lupe are safe. So they will likely pit. Five minutes. Let's see if they do pit. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Rosenquist has also pitted. So it does look like everybody in the top 10 looks like they will have to pit at least once more. But we are 6 seconds behind, 8 seconds, 10 seconds behind Ryan. Four laps of gas in excess. So we can probably burn a little bit more on these curves. And we can start to push. Germano is not too far away from Maldonado. Let's come on the straightaways. Slow it down a little bit. Okay, Woods is taking an early pit. That could end up hurting him, but I doubt it because he is right behind Romano. He's already... Yeah, he... Looks like Woods has no problem catching back up. Vital still behind Maldonado. But Romano is kind of holding off Woods. Minute 40, minute 20, or second. 2 seconds behind. Maldonado's taking an early pit. Vital can't focus the slap. And there is Woods right behind Romano. Try to push Romano a little bit, try to get some more of that speed up. Oop, I didn't mean to zoom in. Slow pit stop for Von Heim. Doesn't matter too much for him since he's already in 17th place. Lupe is taking a pit. Let's not push yet. These are pretty... Oh, and Mario Acosta has crashed. God, do I want to pit? Because everybody else is pitting. Do what tires? I push constantly, that'll last us to 21, 29, not quite. So maybe a couple more laps. We had 4 crashes, luckily all yellow flags. Vital currently in 3rd, Romano in 5th. And the race is back on now. They're at lap 19. I probably should have pitted. At this rate, we have 6 laps left on our tires. 3 laps of excess fuel left. The Holgerson is pitting. Let's just pit now. His on and off might give us because 11 laps if we constantly push. We're against a 30 of 33. Let's push out of the gate. Woods and Maldonado might not need to pit. We'll see how much they push their tires. Holgerson is 14 seconds behind Ryan. Lupe is 16 seconds behind Holgerson. Or was. Chill out on the gas. Romano's having trouble focusing. That's fine. 8th place is quite far behind. So let's start pushing into this winding section. Wait, no, this isn't the winding section. Let's start pushing it now. See if we can make up on some of these curves. Okay, 4 laps of our tires. So this intermittent pushing should probably get us over. Almost 3 laps excess of gas. Six, 7. And Artie Von Heim has crashed. Will anybody be taking a pit? So this is our 5th crash of the game. And 2 teams are out of the race already. And it does not look like... I don't know if we will be able to gain up on 5th place at all. But on the flip side, we are kind of comfortable in 7th. And it looks like we might be able to push our engines the rest of the way. To be honest, I don't really want to risk anything. I might just let them chill. We'll see how Hostler is doing. Because he is quite well behind Hermano. And Vital is quite far behind from Wood, so I don't really want to push him and risk something. The Hostler is still 45 seconds. 46. Vital can't focus. Let's just speed it up. This is probably how it's going to be. This Hostler's not really gaining. Vital's not gaining on Woods. Although Woods is pitting. Do we have a chance to overtake him? We have enough gas to push our engines. We're coming up on lap 29. "11 seconds behind. "12 seconds. It looks like Woods is pulling back out ahead. It was 13:20, 13:40, 13:40. Vital can't focus, so yeah, we're just gonna hang back. We'll just take the 6th place. Slow pit stop for John Schwab. Yeah, 3 laps left. There's no way we can catch up to Woods. I'll just speed it up a little bit. 2 laps left, 1 lap left. Hostler is having to pit on the final lap. What a shame. Rodriguez. So they are starting to cross the finish line. So it looks like it's going to be Ryan, Holgerson, Lupe, Maldonado, Woods, and then Vital and Romano. Let's actually just conserve the driving. Let's just take these curves nice and easy. Not risk it. So 6th and 7th. I will take it. Got 8 and 6 points, which is more than our 6 and 4 from last race. And Ezzolini took a dump from that race. Their two drivers crashed out. Who's the other one? Was it April that crashed out? Or Vernier? Yeah, we forgot to golden tune the chassis. So we got our $4. Bregman's still injured. Nobody else is injured, thankfully. Yeah, Luigi Morietti is still in 2nd place even after crashing. Box in 6th. So yeah, Ezzolini still in 2nd, even though they didn't get anything for that last race. Chapman, Knight for 24 points. For a team that was supposed to get 0 points, that is absolutely awesome. Now our garage, our reliability is starting to get low. But do we take the chance on building a new engine or something? We need $1, an extra $1 for each additional build, for each additional part in each category. We can try building a new engine this race, or this weekend. If it sucks, we can repair it, and then next weekend, hopefully, we'll be able to get some money. And 2327 is over 100%, is over 100 points. It's about the same reliability. So since Vital seems to be our top guy, we'll give him the better engine. We'll put Romano into the more reliable of the extra engines. And then we might save those $5 and try to get Romano another engine. Which, realistically, I'll build a new engine, give that to Vital, give Romano the 2327. Engine performance. Thankfully, we made that new engine. We're coming up to race 3. We'll try this. We got a little S track, so a lot of curves, couple straightaways. So this is going to be another one that looks like acceleration and steering might be key. So Tyne Kruger, crew chief of April, feels invigorated and receives a +1 bonus for the current session. Billy Murray, crew chief of Team Pope, receives a +1 bonus. Eugen Schosch, crew chief of Ezzolini, partied a bit too hard, but he has a -1 modifier. As we can see, there's absolutely no water on the track, so we're just going to ride the softs all the way through. Send these guys out. So since Vital has the better engine, I might focus on his steering. Romano, I might focus on his acceleration first. And we'll see how that does for everybody. Looks like Von Heim's kind of trying to sabotage us. Because he left the gate right as we were coming up on him. And there we go, dropping down. Oh, Vital's holding off on 5th. Dropping 7th. We got 3 more racers. Can he hold it? So currently, so this is Vital. Currently, we've got 7th and 12th. I want to do his steering. Do that 5 to 11 is juicy. 15, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, nice. We're already about halfway there. We're going to focus on his acceleration. That 1 to 17, it feels like a trap. 1 to 2, but I'll take the 5 to 20 and the 3 to 10. The 1 to 3, 2 to 5, 1 to 3. Kind of a poor outing for his acceleration. So let's go out while it's clear. Ooh, and Levy Mach has crashed. Not a good luck for Ezzolini. Don't think, yeah, we did not get a chance to set a lap. So we'll see about it with a minute left. I might send them out. Because we do have to make a time. Okay, they're all going, so let's go. Because again, this is our outlap. This does not count for the timing. It's only the second and the third laps. Now we're speeding back up. Across the checkpoint. I keep saying checkpoint. Now this is the timed lap. We've increased on our outlap, so that's a good sign. So jumping up to 4th, back down to 7th and 10th. Vital's complaining about Rosenquist. But he's still set a better time. Double cats on the bed, yeah. So yeah, get them back on softs. Ooh, juicy 5 to 20, 4 to 11, 2 to 5, another 2 to 5. Take the chance on the 1 to 5. Got a 3. I'll take it. Oh god, the 1 to 19 is a trap. 3 to 7. 5 to 20. 1 to 4. 2. If I can get these guys out fast, get ahead of everybody. I appreciate the lurk, Crabbo. Welcome in. And yeah, they're... Oh. One saw me turn around. I might get in 1, Might get in 4 or 5 more pits. Probably 4 more, including this one. It looks like Vital 10th and 11th. Not quite. We start bumping up the engine a little bit. Four to 15, 2 to 4, 2 to 5. 4 to 6, 4 to 7, 4 to 7. Take the 6 to 16. 2. And I believe they're all coming in, so we're going out. Speed it up a little bit. Got an open roadway. The Hostler got behind Vital. Maybe we slowed him down a little bit. Although now number 3, Maladonado, is in front of Vital. We got a little bit of taste of our own medicine, it looks like. And we're still getting improvements. We're getting to tune. 3 to 13 can put us over. 3 to 8. We got the golden tune on steering. Oh, these are all kind of bad. 7, 5 to 11. 19. For them. Yeah, we're still getting greens, so we're still increasing. Excuse me. Seven, 11, 15, 3. Let's see if we can get his acceleration up. We'll get the 6 to 19 on the chassis. And after number 4, this might, Vitalis keep focus. This might be our last pit. Yeah. Because we had that crash earlier. 5 to 12. I meant to take the 1 to 3. 15. 9. Go big or go home. Let's see if we can maybe get another lap. I don't think so. Yeah, not quite. So it looks like we at least jumped up to 7th and 8th. So with the new engine, he's only beaten Romano by about a half a minute. It's going to be sunny. We got a narrow track, so overtaking is going to be harder. 60 laps. So... do we try to start off with some softs and try to punch out of there with Vital? And then Romano, we might do the long game and try to start off with maybe some hards. I don't think Vital has the endurance or has like the ability to really make use of those softs. But personally, for me, I just want to place in the top 10. So he might just take a more conservative strategy. Maybe do mediums and hards. And then, like, at some point... So he's going to have 18 to 33 laps. If we switch back and forth on pushing... 27 to 50. If we just do hards, we might be able to just pit once. Maybe twice, and then bump into some softs at the end. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll do softs on Vital, hards on Romano. First pit, first Vital will be another hard for Romano, and then end up on softs for Romano. Let's try that. The crew chief of Hemlock has a -1 modifier. Let's see how well the strategy works. Vital and Romano are quickly overtaken. Although Vital is crawling back up, Romano's still in 14th. Romano's having trouble overtaking, Vital's having trouble overtaking. Woods and Moretti have overtaken the pack. Let's try to push a little bit. Let's see if it's coming up on these curves. Let's see if we can push through them. Romano's in the zone. Maybe he can get up some positions. Vital's not too far behind from Hessler. Do want to conserve their stress. Vital got overtaken again. Romano's pushing up a little bit. I guess Romano pushed up ahead of Fisher. Romano can't focus. Vital can't focus. Romano's having trouble getting past Steiner. Vital's having trouble with Maladano and Villalba. Oh, Hemlock has a failed car. Romano's getting overtaken. He can't overtake Steiner. Lap deficit. Oh, and Vital can't focus. That's not what we need, Vital. We'll start pushing. Vital still having trouble with Maldonado. Romano's in the zone, but he's having trouble overtaking Fisher. Fisher and Steiner. Vital finally overtaking Maldonado. It looks like Maldonado's just right back. Like I said, and Maldonado isn't pushing his tires as much. So I'm going to try to get one more lap out of these softs. Because they are starting to degrade. Romano can't focus. Okay, we're gonna hit him. We're gonna get onto those hards. We're gonna push it out of the gate. Romano's in the zone. Can he push past Acosta? Let's try pushing him a little bit. Cannot overtake Acosta. So there goes Vital with the pit. Maldonado is going to have to pit soon. Pushing it out of the gate. Look on the gas. Still have about 7 laps of excess. So we can burn a little bit more. The good news is Acosta is going to have to pit soon. Maldonado is going to have to pit soon. So we should be able to overtake them. There we go. 7th and 8th. Maldonado's still pushing his softs. So will he be pitting? No, he's still going. Rosenquist as well. Ryan's on a fresh set of hards. Unbelievably, we are in front of Mock currently. Although I think he was out on hards out of the gate. So there goes Maldonado. He's pitting. We're ahead of him now. Rosenquist, we're not too far behind on. He's going to have to be pitting soon. He is pitting. So this is going to give us a chance to push it through these curves. Romano still got some laps left on his tires. I'm just going to let them fight it out. I don't want them to hold each other back. Let's calm it down. Mock is pitting. So he's going to... Oh, he had a fast pit. But he's still dropping down a few ranks. Check on gas. We still have 5.6 of excess gas. Ryan has a comfortable 4th place, it looks like. Vitalis complaining about not overtaking Romano. Okay, where is 7th place? 7th place is just crossing. He's 14 seconds behind Vital. So we can probably chill out for a little bit. See if we can push Romano a little bit, try to get some room. Although it might be an idea to push Vital, conserve Romano, try to get Vital in front. Okay, so we can drive him normally. Since Vital has the better engine, he should theoretically be able to power through these curves. He can't focus. But man, Ryan is still well ahead of us. And Romano might be needing a pit soon. So let's push them a little bit. I might preemptively pit, get them on some fresh hards. And Vonheim is blocking Vital. We've lapped him. Can Romano lap him too? Mach is in 5th. Mach is in 6th, coming for Vital. Go a couple more laps with gas. Where is Hostler? I could just let Romano theoretically ride out these hards because Hostler might have to pit. So, slow pit stop for Holgerson. And Mach overtakes Vital. Gonna use up a little bit more gas on Vital. Romano's in the zone. Let's give you a little bit of gas. Vital is in the zone. Let's check 3.6. Where's Vital? Vital. Probably get one more lap. We're on lap 33 of 30. "27 laps would put us right at 60. So we might do an early pit because Mach is going to have to pit soon. And we would like to pit before Mach because depending on if he does another soft, he might have to pit again. And we'll just keep the hards. And Romano's kind of sitting comfortably in 8th. We'll get him out. Puncture for Kukamin, who's in 18th place. Ooh, we've got a crash. All was is crashed. So I would not doubt if Mach is going to take that pit. And there he goes. Taking advantage of the pit stop while everybody slowed down. So we are in 6th and 7th. Maldonado is not too far ahead of Vital. It looks he might have to take a pit later. So we do kind of want to steal push. But 8th place, Rosenquist is also going to have to take a pit. And he's a comfortable... We've got a comfortable 6th and 7th, it looks like. Although Rosenquist is gaining 4 seconds per lap. You're still on a gas deficit. So we cannot quite push them the remainder of the race. The last lap. Romano was on 127, Rosenquist was on 126, 122, 123, so we are gaining ahead of Rosenquist now. So where is 6th, 7th, 5th place? Maldonado is still out there. Yeah, Moretti with just a 25-second lead on Ryan. Romano's in the zone. Let's give him a little bit of gas. Let's try to keep ahead of Rosenquist. Vital's not too far behind of Maldonado, and he's going to have to pit once more. Although now Vital and Romano can't focus this lap. So Rosenquist has pit. Now Lupe's in 8th, further behind. Vital's in the zone. We push not quite. We push the engines a little bit more. Push the drivers a little bit more. Vital's in the zone. He's not too far behind from Maldonado. And if he has to pit at some point, he might be able to just catch up to him. The Vital is the one with the lower gas. So if we push the engines, we still have a deficit. And we are gaining on Maldonado with Vital. We have enough tires. Although Romano looks like he might have a deficit, we can serve him. Oh no, that's the gas. Stupid. So 4, almost 5 laps on his tires. So 123. So Maldonado increased his lead last lap. Lupe is at 15, 14 seconds behind Romano. Vitale is in the zone. Let's see if he can make up some time. Romano can't focus. Maldonado is pushing those engines. 7th, 8th. Yeah, Lupe is well behind Romano. So Romano, I might just chill out where he is. I'm gonna push Vitale here and there. Because he can probably make it on his hards. But Vitale is gonna have, or Maldonado is gonna have to pit. I don't believe he can finish the race on his tires. Because he is getting pretty low on those hards. Ryan is pitting. Romano is getting complained about Mach being in the way. Lupe is still well behind Romano. We have 5 laps left. 1.7 laps of excess gas currently, but if I push it, looks like we have a 0.2 0.2 laps. There goes Maldonado's pit. Vitale's overtaking him. Let's see if Vitale can hold on to 5th place. He'll have just enough gas if I keep pushing the engines, it looks like. I might as well push Romano's engines, because he has well over a lap left. Looks like Vitale... Yeah, Vitale is easily going to hold on to 5th. Where is Ryan? Ryan is well ahead. I doubt we're going to be able to catch up to him. Let's calm down, Romano. Let's not have any accidents this late. So we are final lap. Maldonado still behind Vitale by quite a bit. Already in Mach finish 1-2. Ryan's coming in 3rd, followed by Holgerson. Coming around the bend. Vitale able to hold on to 5th. Maldonado 6th. Romano's getting 7th. We got 10 and 6, not bad. Zellini getting first and second. Zellini still in first, Chapman's in second. We jumped up to third, just slightly in front of LeBron. Followed by Wayland and Pope with 4 and 2. Hemlock, 7th with 1 point. Bancroft, Vernier, and April rounding out the rest. So, again, we got $4 because we came in 12th or above. So the personal standings, Antonio Vital is with 6th place with 24 points. Antonio Romano in 9th with a respectable 16 points. For a team that was slated to have 0 points, we are sitting at 4th place with 40. We have a new sponsorship. Stop will give us $2 to repair all the parts in a single pit stop. Oil will give us $2 to finish the race with less than half a lap of fuel left. We can easily, I mean, the oil is more, but the easier one to do because we are pushing the engines a lot. Repairing all the parts in a single pit stop, I would not take that chance unless there was a red flag. So we'll apply take the oil. So $9, we can potentially build a new engine. But man, Vital's cars are starting to get a little beat up. You might want to repair Vital's car. Next race we'll repair Romano's. Or I guess upgrade, I guess. So that might be where the money goes to this race. And Romano will have to wait for the next race. Although I can give him the spare engine, which is slightly better. What time is it? 2 hours. I might actually call it here. My throat is starting to get tired. But yeah, I will likely play this throughout the week because I am having a blast with this. And I might do like 3 to 4 races because it looks like we have 3, 6, 7 more. So next stream I might do 3 more races and then 4 races to finish it off. And this game does last, I think, a full 10 years, so 1979 will be the final season if I go through it all. And then there are mods, so there is a 1970s real world mod. But again, I don't know anything about F1 racing other than cars go fast. But I thank everybody for showing up, chilling out. I didn't want to turn it off all the way. Let's see who is on. Ball 2 is on. So I read you to him. He's playing Resident Evil 4. Yeah, so I'll read you off to Rodeo. Again, thank you everybody for coming in, hanging out. So I said he's a voice actor and retro gamer. That's why rodeo is spelled backwards, because it's the retro rodeo. And you all have a good night. Have a good rest of your weekend. Happy birthday, SJ, if you're still here. And I will see you later.